On this week's Mailbag episode, the San Diego Padres get swept despite me literally being here in San Diego in attendance. It didn't help much. Plus, answering some of your questions because it is the Mailbag. All that and more. Let's get to it.
You are Locked On Padres, your daily San Diego Padres podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Locked On Padres podcast, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day for Monday, May 19th. As always, I'm your host, the Padres fan from New Jersey, except now I am in San Diego, currently in an undisclosed location. My apologies if it's echoing around a little bit, if the whatever that's called, the sound quality isn't the best. I'll try and change it a different day and whatnot, try and make it a little bit better for you guys, but for now, this is what I got. You can follow me on Twitter/X and Blue Sky at Javipeno, Javiipeno. And you can reach out on there, questions, comments, or concerns. Maybe have them answered here on the Mailbag episode. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. Whew, man, guys, just what a rush. What a rush of nothing that this weekend was for the Padres. And look, it's on top of them just being bad, it really stinks that I'm here and I didn't provide them any good luck. I will say that they were bad every game, not just the one that I went to, right? This Padres series this weekend against admittedly a pretty good Mariners team, a Mariners team that has been on fire for a while now, especially offensively. For the Padres not to do well, particularly because, and despite the fact that the Mariners are known usually for their pitching, the problem is, right now, that's not what they had. With the exception of Sunday's game with Brian Wu starting, this was a weekend in which the Padres offense just completely didn't show up. Padres bullpen wasn't great, and the entire team and all the vibes are just, they've been inconsistent, it feels like, for a couple weeks now. Every time you think they're up, they're down, and vice versa. I still have some hope for them, but let's talk about the games real quick. Sunday, the game I went to, the Padres lose 6-1. Only impressions from this game are that Michael King was, in my opinion, a lot better than what the numbers suggested. He goes 5 and 5 and a third in this one, giving up 4 runs, 3 earned on 1 walk and 8 strikeouts. I thought he was a lot better than this. He had a couple of hits just not go his way, kind of like a squeeze bunt situation. One ball that he should have just let past him, it bounces, hits off of his glove, ends up being an infield hit. Just a whole lot of dumb stuff, in my opinion, for Michael King in this one. He looked pretty good. He still is cursed with being unable to go up to 6 innings. I don't know why he hasn't been going deep into games this year nearly as much, but the peripherals and all that stuff, I'm not really concerned. I haven't been concerned with him basically the entire season, whatsoever. He was decent, right? He got a decent amount of look in this one. He got 7 whiffs on his changeup at the very minimum, so that was pretty good. Sinker wasn't as good as it usually was, and his 4-seam fastball did get killed a little. But granted, that is not what he's known for, so again, I'm not freaking out. But what really stinks is the only moment of joy from this game, and I need you guys to be here for me when I say this. Fernando Tatis Jr.'s home run in the bottom of the first inning, first Padres batter up. I'm at Petco Park for this, and I was in the bathroom. I am so ashamed. I'm so ashamed. I really am. I feel like a fraud. I feel like, now don't get me wrong, I did tweet I was in attendance at least, but hearing it, I had to run out just to see him. You know what I mean? It was not my best moment having to go to the bathroom when Tatis was up. And it really stinks because that was the only run, obviously, that the Padres scored in this game. Just an absolute nightmare for the Padres all around. Mitch Garver gets some stuff. Randy Arozarena ties it, by the way, in the top of the 4th inning after the Padres refused to bring basically anyone in. And they had multiple situations. 2 outs with Elias Diaz, Jake Cronenworth, Luis Ariz, Manny Machado, and Fernando Tatis Jr. both not really showing up past the first inning. All right, Tatis did his job, but Manny Machado 0 for 3 in this game. Not a good weekend for him. He's been good overall. Jackson Merrill, not a good weekend for him either. In this game, you had a moment, later on. It was kind of the last hope for the Padres and last hope for me as an attendee. And I'm just okay, hold on. We're cooking a little bit, right? Jose Iglesias gets a single. Elias Diaz gets a single. And it was really not jarring. It was really jarring in a good way. Like really, it really impacted me. Where like when you're at the stadium, it's so cool seeing the Padres of all organizations that like just a couple of hits and the place seems like it's ready to explode. Right? That Tatis at bat, it was tough. I can't really tell from my seats like what were the best pitches to swing at, but in that moment, it just stinks, grounds into a double play, and then Luis Ariz flies out because of course he does, right? Not even bringing them even remotely close back into the game. It was kind of out of reach at that point, right? 4-1, and then the Mariners tack on a couple more with Yuki Matsui being brought in. Yeah, just not great. He allows a couple walks, 3 walks, in fact. And this one loses his control, which is weird because this year Yuki Matsui has actually had really good control for the most part. And he's been an elite, really good bullpen arm who doesn't even need to be used in high leverage situations for this Padres team. So that was unfortunate, but I'm not going to lie to y'all. Me and my friends were like, yeah, we got to start like heading out. You know what I mean? After that Tatis ground into the double play, that inning not going well, then the 3 walks, we were like, yeah, that's a wrap. That's a wrap. Like we walked around the stadium. We didn't outright leave Petco. But when we saw the 3 walks and all that stuff, we decided to just check around the stadium a little bit more, frankly, as my one visit that I'll have here. But yeah, this Padres bullpen has just been pretty nightmarish for a while, it feels like. And while that's not the main fault of this weekend series, it is a fault in general that we do have to pay attention to and we have to talk more about because I think this is starting to pass. It's starting to surpass that point of, oh, they're just regressing and starting to get into a territory in which I am actually getting a little bit worried about them, which is weird because I think all the guys are good, but for whatever reason, they've been bad for a while now. But we got more to talk about, folks. More specifically to talk about in the next segment. But first, a word from one of our sponsors. And that sponsor is a wonderful one, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you, I've had them out here, even in San Diego. I keep them on me. And that's the snack that's both delicious and nutritious. Crack into a good source of protein with Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to help you feel fuller longer. I like the no shells variety as well. You can get a little honey roasted up here. You get a little bit more spice and different flavors. But me personally, I like cracking them open. What can I say? I'm a simple man. I just like the little thing. Sometimes when I'm working, sometimes when I'm doing notes for the show, just like cracking one. It's a sound. It does something for me, folks. And on top of that, it's really great. Like I said, all the protein, all the things that you can name, and it's really good for curbing maybe that sweet tooth desire of yours sometimes, right? So get snackin' and get crackin' with the snack that packs a protein punch. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. And just like that, everybody, we are back here thriving and vibing. We're doing it the other way around now that I'm in San Diego, I guess, if you haven't heard, of the Locked On Padres podcast. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter/X and Blue Sky at Javipeno, JAVIIPENO. Now, let's quickly talk about the game on Saturday. And don't get me wrong, we'll be talking more about my Petco experience. We'll be answering the listener questions and comments. Don't worry, guys, we got plenty of pod left. But let's talk about this one. Another 1-score game for the Padres. This one, I was watching with my friend at his place. We're just chilling that way. That's what we do. You know what I mean? Not every game has to be seen in person. And again, just to show you guys, this isn't just the curse of Javier. The Padres lose this game by a score of 4-1, and it was not, I repeat, not a pitcher that the Padres should be getting silenced by. And frankly, this Mariners bullpen, with the exception of Andres Munoz, former Padre, tip cap, with the exception of him, this is a team that they should be able to hit better outside. Like Brian Wu's very, very good. Like in fairness, that's a very good pitcher. They still should be doing better than what they did. Don't get me wrong, that's not excusing them, but it is at least a point in their favor in their defense. But with the Mariners team, like they have so many guys injured with Logan, with Luis Castillo, with George Kirby. I don't even think George Kirby's pitched yet this year. Like really not great team. And usually their bullpen, which has been a little bit better, not very good this year. They're like 18th in ERA. Like they're actually not very good. And Andres Munoz is kind of carrying them in a lot of ways. He's kind of the only thing. It's kind of like the bullpen from, if you guys remember that last Josh Hader year. Right? Remember that last Josh Hader year in 2023? Kind of like that, where a lot of the bullpen stuff, it's just you got an elite closer and that's it. Again, we don't have to relitigate 2023, but just a bad showing from the Padres against Emerson Hancock, a player that I actually suggested the Padres try and pitch for trade for, I should say, in the offseason. Don't get me wrong, he didn't own them or anything, but it just goes to show you that once again, when I say this slash line for Emerson Hancock, you're going to be like, yep, once again, the issue with runners in scoring position. 4 2/3, 1 earned run on 6 hits, 1 walk, and only 3 Ks. Last outing, he gave up 7 against the Yankees. Like, this is a ground ball type pitcher who can be against a Padres lineup that is so against striking out, right? So against striking out, so much about swinging at a lot of pitches. Machado being more aggressive than he usually is, not in a bad way. All these sort of things. Yes, pitchers like this can potentially hurt a lineup, but for you to not score, man, against Emerson Hancock is really rough. And especially this bullpen. Gabe Spear came in and shut them down. Matt Brash came in and shut them down. Lou Mina shut them down. And it's a shame because Nick Pivetta was really great for the Padres. Once again, kind of bouncing back from what I thought was like his worst start in a while, right? Giving up 6 earned runs against Colorado, even though that was Colorado, right? Like we can maybe attribute it to that a little bit. And then start against the Yankees. Against Seattle, he's fantastic. And again, Seattle has been good offensively this year. So for him to get 7 Ks like that, love to see it. Dare I say the best thing about this weekend, honestly? Like 7 whiffs on his fastball, nothing incredible, but like he threw a lot of fastballs. He didn't rely on his curveball and sweeper too much. He was good. He was good. What can I say? But it really stinks that is probably the only positive that happened this weekend. I am dead serious. That is the only positive that happened this weekend. The Padres once again get the scoring started in this one the same way they did with Sunday. Gavin Sheets homering in the bottom of the 4th inning. We love Gavin so much. And Gavin, frankly, it's like we're kind of spoiled. And we're really waiting for other guys in this Padres lineup to be as good as their reputation suggests. Luis Arraez a little bit with that issue. Xander Bogaerts, obviously, with that issue. And Jackson Merrill doesn't count for him. He's been great. It's just that he was hurt, and he basically just came back. And let me tell you, Jackson Merrill and Manny Machado, not a great moment for them in this game. Both of them striking out with the bases loaded in this game. I mean, dare I say that's the game, right? Is it fair to say that? That's what it feels like. In the bottom of the 5th inning, Hayward gets a single. Tatis gets a double. It's like, here we go. Luis Arraez draws a walk, which is pretty rare. Luis Arraez is not a walk guy. Then Manny Machado strikes out on what was a shockingly bad at-bat. Not because of the swing decisions. Nothing like that. But because they were all pitches in the zone that he could have hit. Just doesn't do it. Doesn't come through in this situation. He's been coming through for the team a lot this year, especially when Merrill, Arraez, and Cronenworth were out. But it's just like, dang, man. And then they bring in Gabe Spear. In my opinion, good decision by the Mariners, clearly. And then Jackson Merrill strikes out too. Just you had that opportunity. And then you did have a little bit later on when, yes, it was 2 outs, but Bogaerts got a single. Then he stole second. Gavin Sheets grounds out. Just not much else to say. This Padres team, the offense just did not show up again against a Seattle team that typically we associate great pitching and some good defense, and they're a low scoring team. That's how they're going to beat you. That's not what they've been lately. So for the Padres to become basically the get right team right when I come to San Diego, not great. I will tell you though, and I should have put this on earlier, I did get a really cool hat. It's got a rose. So shout out to all my video listeners, viewers, I should say, who are watching. It's going to put a little bit of a shadow on my face, but there you go. I'll put it on the camera. That was, dare I say, the best thing that happened this weekend. Because Friday's game was also not good. The Padres only scored 3 runs this entire series. 3. Like come on. It's really stinky for your offense to fall asleep after a 2 out of 3 series win and a 2 out of 3 series win before that. It's just unfortunate. And while, yes, it is easy to bring up that Stephen Kolek wasn't pretty good in Friday's game. 5 innings, 5 earned runs on 5 hits, 1 walk, 4 Ks. I still like that he got the 4 strikeouts. I still like his fastball stuff. I still think he's pretty good. It's really funny that he had more of like a immediate bad game than Randy Vasquez did. Randy Vasquez, I'm still waiting if the other shoe's going to drop. I will say he's been doing better lately, but just, what else is there to say? Do I have anything else to say? I do. We still got, 20 more minutes of the podcast left, but just not great. And Stephen Kolek, again, not a great start for him. Shout out to the Padres bullpen. This was, dare I say, their best appearance in a while. Sean Reynolds, he goes 2 2/3. Second best thing that happened for the Padres this weekend, aside from the Nick Pivetta start, in my opinion, is Mr. Sean Reynolds, a guy that we're hoping can be really good in this bullpen. And he looked pretty dang sharp. 1 whiff on both his fastball and his sweeper. The stuff plus is down a little bit, but I still like that he went multiple innings, especially for a game that, yes, it was a little bit out of reach at this point, but I still appreciate that he did do something, right? So Sean Reynolds, 2 2/3, 2 walks, but 4 Ks. I still like it. Wandy Peralta doing Wandy Peralta things, 1 1/3, getting 2 hits, no runs though, and a strikeout. Just not great. And while, yes, the bullpen has been bad, this game is not on them. This is on the offense. And frankly, Sunday's game, not on the bullpen. Yes, Yuki had a bad moment, but y'all already seemingly decided you didn't want to score. So I can't really hate on Yuki Matsui too much. And then Saturday's game, yes, Morejon, I get that he gets tagged with the loss. But if Manny or Merrill do anything, right? Like, that's the thing is, these blowups seem to have been happening. And I don't know if there's like a poetic, I don't know why I said it like that. A poetic sort of through line here of the Padres offense usually having a moment where they could be adding to the scoreboard, they don't, and then the bullpen blows up. Like, just poetically, it almost makes sense. It's like, look, we're trying, but they just did not come through. Jake Cronenworth, the only RBI in this game. Just nice to see him get a hit. You know, just coming back off of the IL for the most part. Like, he's still trying to get his feet wet, get back in it. 2 for 4 game with him in this game and a double. Again, he hasn't been incredible, but he's had a couple multi-hit games ever since coming back. Which I appreciate. So he's still good. 273 average on the season, 410 on base, 910 OPS overall. Yes, that should come down. I don't think he's that good, but I am a big believer in Jake Cronenworth being better when he's at second base. I think he could provide some good defensive value. I really do. I think that could work. But we'll still have to see how it all pans out. And for what it's worth, Jake Cronenworth in just 21 games, already more wins above replacement than our guy Luis Ariz, by the way. 0.6 for Jake Cronenworth. I think part of that is just he's better as an infielder. But folks, let me tell you, we got to talk more. We're going to answer some of your questions and comments starting now about this weekend, because let me tell you, I get it. I can understand a little bit of the outrage, dare I say, because it wasn't great. First of all, on Twitter, let's start there. Padre Ray says, not a Padres question, but I need your rundown of restaurants you went to when you were in San Diego. So as of right now, let's start positive before we get into the negative stuff. We've already been a little bit negative, right? So so far, I've been to a few places. I was at this it was at Nico's, was a burrito place we went to on Saturday. We also went to get pho. I forgot what it's called. It's like, Asian cuisine type of place. It was just a giant bowl, and that was really good. So yes, very good stuff there. Got In-N-Out. In-N-Out, a little bit of, dare I say, a little bit of a California conspiracy that everybody acts like this is the best thing in the world just because it's only on the West Coast, maybe. But I did really enjoy it. Just a solid burger. Just really, really solid. Not solid in like that was decent. Like, wow, this is just a well done basic burger, I should say. Like the literal ingredients, you know what I mean? With the cheeseburger and all that sort of stuff. Really solid. The fries were but they got the job done. You know what I mean? Sometimes I just need fries to get the job done. And this is what they were in this case. Really enjoyed that. And then lastly, my favorite place we've been to is Mike's Tacos. I forgot where this was exactly. My friend took me right when we got here. We're about to go again, probably today. By the time you guys are listening, I'm trying to go to that again. And it was phenomenal. Phenomenal stuff. I didn't eat too much at the ballpark. My greatest regret. I didn't know where to go. And my friends didn't either. I got like a Hodad's cheeseburger, which was pretty good. Did not get to try out all the best places there necessarily, but there's still plenty of time, and there's plenty of places outside the stadium and whatnot. Then I'm probably going to go back to Gaslamp at some point with friends and whatnot and just try out some better places. But Mike's Tacos was easily my favorite place we've been to so far. That burrito, probably the best burrito I've ever had in my life. Honestly. Genuinely, I mean that 100%. And then my Australian homie, Yayan Ong says, yeah, why did you jinx us? Plus, how was San Diego? So far, pretty good. And no, I did not jinx them because they were bad, even the games that I wasn't at. But folks, we got a few more questions that we're going to break down. But first, we have to go into one more break to hear another word from our sponsors. And what sponsor is that, you ask? Oh, let me tell you, it is the one that you've heard plenty of times because they're always there for you to give you whatever you need for your gambling needs. That is FanDuel, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you, with the NBA playoffs in full swing, we're in the conference finals for both. Shout out Knicks. My Knicks friend is here. He's hyped. In full swing, and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't-miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better game and better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-offs and live with player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. So go check it out, guys. And if you're new to FanDuel, do not worry. It's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get paid $200 in bonus bets. So make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. And just like that, everybody, we are back thriving and vibing here on the Locked On Padres podcast. Oh, man, has it not been great so far. But let me answer some more questions. Rama Murdy on Blue Sky reaches out and says, question for Monday's show. We have been swept twice this season now, and both times got shut down by good pitching. There are glaring holes in left field, catcher, and a right-handed DH. If you're AJ, what moves do you want to make to fix it? Hope you had a great trip to San Diego. And also, what could we offer the Angels to get Taylor Ward? Well, kind of answered your own question in terms of like what AJ could do. That seems like the move. It's just whatever batter is out there that you can put on the other side of the platoon. I haven't dug deep in a while because the last time I did the trade ideas was like 3 weeks ago or something like that. I don't remember exactly. So maybe some of the numbers have changed. But I will say Jorge Soler, Taylor Ward, both players that hit really well against lefties. You could pick them up. Jorge Soler a little bit more expensive, so maybe that might prevent them. But they're good against lefties, and I don't think they're going to cost too much, especially for a bad Angels team, bad organization too. That's what you do. I don't think you need to target some superstar bat. And frankly, I don't really know what superstar bat is out there that makes sense. Like, Nolan Arenado's a superstar, but he's not the same anymore. He's a third baseman. Like, that's different. So I don't really know what else there is. Orioles? Like, are the Orioles all of a sudden going to be selling off some of their prospects? I don't really know what is out there. And I'm a little bit worried about that because as a result, if there's only a few players that the Padres can go for, at least batting wise, I'm not worried about bullpen. You can find relievers anywhere. And I trust AJ Preller and this regime to find good bullpen, the same way that they did for this bullpen to start the year. I think that with the bats, if there aren't that many, and Luis Robert being a weird player that nobody knows if they're going to trade him or not, and for what, that I don't know if the Padres can compete in terms of if the bidding price gets out of control. Now, Preller, unlike a lot of GMs and especially organizations, isn't a coward, right? So I imagine that will play into it, but it still worries me just a little bit. And San Diego's going good. I am very sad that the only thing that good that happened this series is this cool Padres guy I got outside the ballpark, Nick Pivetta, the Jake Cronenworth double, and then what was the last thing? Shot around. Like, just not great. But San Diego itself, man, first thing I noticed immediately was the palm trees and just the vibe when you're driving. Really good stuff, man. Big fan. Big fan so far, let me tell you. But I'll give you guys more of a review as the week goes along. Next question, though, at Blue Slide Kurt says, so Javier, what do you think about letting Lockridge step in at left field until they figure out next steps for Hayward? Yeah, Jason Hayward, a big problem for this team lately, and that's why you asked this question a while ago. Brandon Lockridge did get some time. He didn't do much of anything either, though, unfortunately, so you can't fully hate. But in the one game he played, 0 for 3, didn't do too much. Jason Hayward, and that whole thing, that's the other issue, is that they need a left fielder. I talked about Jesus Sanchez of the Marlins. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that for the aforementioned reasons I said about the platoon bat. But yeah, I mean, they're just going to try them. But I actually totally agree. And I was listening to Ben and Woods, their interview with Mike Schilt, where he was like, look, like, there are veteran things that he does. And what I like about that is, unlike Yuli Gurriel, before you guys pick me apart, is Gurriel had been bad for 4 years at the one thing he could be good at, which is hitting. He didn't do that. Right? He couldn't play defense. He's not fast. He doesn't hit for power. He just couldn't hit. So that was why I was annoyed with him. Jason Hayward at least does give you some defense, right? And Jason Hayward, you know, got a winning pedigree. Everyone seems to love him in the clubhouse. Everyone that I know who knows the Padres is like, yeah, this guy's great. So at least he has that, but he's better as a backup. So I don't know exactly what they're going to do. I hope they fix that, though, at some point. Next comment, though, let's see here. Let's see. Oh, just a nice little comment from at IB Henriksen says, thanks for being raw, genuine, without all the fancy edits. We need more YouTubers like this. Well, frankly, I'm trying to up the edit game a little bit, at least on the shorts. So follow along on the YouTube, guys, for more short form content. I'm going to keep doing those as time goes along. I got a little bit of a comment from someone who said, he has been great, referring to Fernando Tatis Jr. Too bad he plays in the same league as Ohtani, otherwise he'd be an MVP candidate. Well, sir, I'll have you know, while yes, it is true that I think Shohei Ohtani should still be the favorite for the MVP, in terms of wins above replacement, it's actually really close right now. In terms of all of the players that are eligible at this current point. And I think that Tatis absolutely has a chance. And a big part of that is because of his defense. Ohtani is a 2.8 win above replacement player. Pico Armstrong is a 3, which is crazy. Now, I think that that'll go down at some point, but he's been like a superstar already. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, but because I just think at some point he's going to run to a wall, this being such a young player. But I still think Tatis could win it. Why not? Shohei Ohtani, though, being on the Dodgers, yeah, guys, it's still like one of the worst things to happen, I think, in the National League in a long time. It was awful. It was awful. It stinks that he's playing on this team, and he's great, especially as a DH. For him to be doing what he's doing is insane. I still think Tatis is a candidate, at the very minimum, a candidate, along with Corbin Carroll of Arizona. So, absolutely. And with that, Dylan Cease, my guy, Cam Wordplay says, okay, Javi, by May 17th, we will know if Dylan Cease is back. If he's back to being a dominant pitcher again or just a flash in the Big Apple pan, and whether Stephen Kolek is too legit to quit on after making his third start against his old team. We know Cease has not been great in the playoffs and most likely won't be back next year. So, does Kolek's improvement and Darvish's return make it the perfect time to trade Cease in July, actually, to get us a better everyday left fielder and some good prospects? Or do we need to keep Cease as an insurance policy down the stretch after what happened to Joe Musgrove last year? I just feel like the Dylan Cease thing isn't happening. He's only doing it, AJ Preller, if he gets the Godfather offer. I really think that's the only reason. Otherwise, just go for it again this year. That's how they're going to operate. King is the one that they want to keep and extend. They're not going to be able to keep Cease. He's going to be a $200 million pitcher. He's a Scott Boras client. He's gone. So for me, I'm just like, keep the extra arm, right? Now, if they do decide to trade him and they get some big time help back, sure. But who's going to trade for half a season of Dylan Cease that's a contender that has the prospect that the Padres would want in return that they're not competing with, right? I don't know what team that is. The Cubs? Are the Cubs going to give us something? Seiya Suzuki? Is that what we want? That's not happening for a half a season of Dylan Cease. And as a Boras client, I just don't think that he has the value that he will elicit unless someone comes in and is desperate, like a Baltimore. It's just not worth it. I'd rather just keep the extra great starter. At least that's just in my opinion, though. Favorite thing about the park, says Phoenix Ash. He said, well, shoot, the Dodgers got swept. It would have been awesome to take the lead in the division, but we're still only one game back. Hope you had a great time at the stadium, and if you haven't already covered it, what was your favorite thing about the park, most unique thing? Well, Ash, I did enjoy the Palm Court thing. We did check that Palm Court Plaza that you messaged me on Blue Sky about. I did like that. We were going through a bunch of like what are they called? Like the walls and just seeing like famous Padres and famous Hall of Famers. I did like the little cute little playground. I don't know. I was like, I would have loved that when I was younger. So I love the playground. And then just in general, I'd say favorite things. I love the Jack in the Box guy. Not even a Jack in the Box person. I've never had it before. But the little Jack in the Box like mascot head on the foul pole just kills me. I love that. What else was really nice? What else was really nice about the ballpark? The surrounding area is great. I love looking at the Western Supply Metal Company like building. That's great. I'd love to be there one day. That would be sick. Everything about the stadium is really cool, man. I love the bridges that you cross. Very easy to navigate, too. Very easy to go around. And yeah, I mean, it was a great park. I just wish I could go again to a game that I wasn't almost like losing my life force watching. That would have been great. But folks, that about does it for today's edition of the Locked On Padres podcast. The only pod that may be better than the Padres themselves. Trying to cut down the time on the show just a little bit for you. So got to get better than that. That's why we're ending a little bit early. But we will answer any remaining questions I found and any questions that maybe you guys send in a little bit late on Wednesday's show. I don't think there will be a show tomorrow. We've got a nice MLB squad show popping up for you guys tomorrow. And I'll figure out some things for while I'm in San Diego to get back to you guys on. But yeah. Until next time, stay safe and, of course, stay faithful. My Fire Faithful homies, take care.